Freddie Roach believes that Errol Spence won't be, more than likely, he'll be shocked if he returns to fighting ever again. Strangely though, there's been talks that Errol Spence is supposed to be fighting Manny Pacquiao in December. Now, a lot of people would say, well, this dude just had a retinal tear. He, even if it heals in 8 weeks or something like that, or 4 to 6 weeks, it's still not a good idea to go in the ring and fight with while it's healing. There's still other things going on with your eye, even when it's healed after 6 weeks. It still needs some more time to do other things. So people are starting to now question, okay, how's he ready to get back in the ring that quick? I don't know. I'm not gonna really touch on that right now. We're gonna just wait. The truth, everything that's hidden comes into light, man. Whatever is going on, if this thing is authentic or if some other thing sinister is going on, we'll find out eventually. It'll come out. But will Errol fight again? That's the question. Some people think he's not fighting no time soon. Some people think he's never coming back. He's never going to be the same again after this. You can still fight with a retinal tear, well, as far as it being fixed, but most of the time, man, you wait a long while before you get back in the ring. Sometimes it could be sometimes it could be a year, maybe even a little longer. So is Freddie Roach right? And then they're saying, the accident took a toll. They think he might have had a retinal tear from the accident. But one question though is what I don't understand is, if it was from an accident or anything prior to Errol going to the doctors recently and them finding that, wouldn't they have seen that, when he was getting, his eyes examined for the Danny Garcia fight? So obviously it wasn't from the accident, because he fought Danny Garcia after the accident. So from that point after Danny Garcia till now, what happened? So I'm thinking it had to happen in between that time and that time frame. But don't they have regular doctors that check up on them months after the Danny Garcia fight? Then you have a doctor check his eye and stuff like that, or whatever. So that must mean something happened to him in sparring somewhere or something. They're not saying it. They're a little bit. They're keeping that on the low for some reason. But many believe Errol's not coming back. But here's the thing, man. I just want to say this, bro. This goes back to the accident. Errol Spence, man, is clearly talented. He's still one of my fighters on my list. I like Errol. But man, you got to think, man. You got to ask yourself, if he wasn't hanging out with some of the wrong, I thought he was, before, when he first was starting to make noise, man, Errol seemed so humble. He seemed like, his head was on the right track. And people say, I remember the comments, like people would say, like when they compare Adrian Broner, the stuff Adrian Broner was going through, all of the antics, they'd say, see, look, Errol Spence, he walked the straight line and he's not doing what AB is doing. And then he turned around, get into a car accident from drinking that could have killed somebody, could have killed himself, killed other people. And I never hear the Errol Spence fanboys give him any hell for that. Like, do you know how dangerous that is? You driving that quick, drinking. It could have been a kid out there walking. There could have been a family, innocent people could have got hit and killed. No, I never hear them talk about that. I think maybe I heard 78 say that was irresponsible. I think I may have heard 78. I think 78 was the only one that said something about that. But none of the rest of them LDBC cats talked about that part. All they kept saying is they hope he have a speedy recovery, which absolutely. But what about the potential? What about the irresponsibility of driving behind the wheel drunk? And he could have took him away from his own family. He have kids, So he's hanging out with Yellow Beezy and all of these rappers that don't mean him no good. They see him drinking in the club. Stop that man. Yeah, I know he's his own man. They can't make him do nothing. But yo, listen, you around him. He put himself around you. Take that drink from him, bro. You know he's a boxer. He got a career. You know he got a family to support. And I never respected that, man. That's why I was just like, man, Errol, man, you gotta stop. You gotta slow down, bro. And I believe that's what, hanging with the wrong crowd, shit like that happens. I mean, he very well could have been drinking by himself when, he could have been home drinking and that could have happened. But still hanging with the wrong crowd, influencing, and I don't, I like people to stay on their A game, bro. That shit knocked him off his A game a little bit, and that could have cost him his life, and it could have cost other people their life. So if Errol don't come back to fight, and if a lot of this stuff is, if the accident weakened his eyes or something, I don't know. He got nobody to blame for himself. That's why. You never see Terrence Crawford drinking. You never see Floyd Mayweather drinking. You don't see that, and that's why they don't really be as injured. They don't really go through certain things like that. They always walk the narrow. Floyd, you might see him go to the club and do shit like that. That's what he do. But Floyd don't smoke, drink. They don't even do it. Bud, don't do all of that stuff. You got to keep your body in shape, bro. And I wish him well, and I don't want to see his career end there, bro. There's some things I would love to see Errol Spence do. I want to see him come back and be the best man he could be. I don't want to see his eye get permanently damaged, like those fools on Thunderdome Boxing was promoting. Yeah, I want to see him get in the ring and fuck his eye up and go blind. I'm listening to this dude. I wanted to just yank him through the fucking YouTube screen, but you don't wish that on nobody, bro. You don't do that, man. But nonetheless, man, I hope he makes a recovery, and if everything is everything, and come back, bro, and fight. But if this is a serious injury, man, I don't think it's a good idea in December to come back and fight no Manny Pacquiao. If that was the case, man, they should have just let him fucking go ahead and fight, because he could have got certain exemptions. Like, he could have got some waivers where they said, okay, look, we'll clear you to fight right now, but you can't, right after the fight, you got to get surgery or something. I'm pretty sure they could have figured that one out, but even then, that would have been even more dangerous for his eye. But I'm just saying, it was still a way he could have still fought, but I wouldn't have recommended that. But I'm just throwing that out there, man. But what you think about what Freddie Roach had to say, man? Do you guys believe that we will not see that Errol Spence's career is over? Get back to me. Let me know. I'm off this.